Assalamu alaikum. I am Professor Mohammad Ikram, and you're watching my YouTube channel, All Things Linguistic. In this video, I am going to discuss the adjective, and my lecture is based upon High School English Grammar and Composition by Wren and Martin, and this is the ninth chapter of the book one. I want to draw your attention toward these sentences. Let's read these sentences. Sita is a clever girl. Now, look at this word, girl. This word denotes a person, so it is a noun. Now, read the second sentence. I don't like that boy. Boy denotes a person, so it's a noun. He gave me 5 mangoes. Mangoes denotes things, so it is a noun. There is little time for preparation. Time denotes an abstract entity, a thing, so it is a noun. So all these words, girl, boy, mangoes, time, these are nouns. They are performing the function of a noun in the sentence. Now look at these words. Clever. What is this word doing here in the sentence? What is its function, its role? It answers the question, what kind of a girl is Sita? Clever. So clever tells the quality of the girl. Clever describes the noun girl. Now look at the second sentence. I don't like that boy. What is this word that doing here? What is its function? It answers the question, which boy? So that actually points out the noun which is denoted by this word, boy. Now, he gave me 5 mangoes. Look at this word, five. What is it doing here in the sentence? It is telling us the number of the mangoes. Now, there is little time for preparation. Little is telling us the quantity of the noun denoted by time. When a word describes a noun, like clever, did, the girl, or if a word points out a noun, like that, pointing out, boy, or if a word tells the number of a noun, like 5 here is telling the number of mangoes. Or if a word tells the quantity of a noun, like little is telling the quantity of a time, such words are called adjectives. They describe the noun, they point out the noun, they tell the number of the noun, they tell the quantity of the noun. So clever, that, 5, and little. These words are adjectives. Now look, the lazy boy was punished. I'm reading point number 68. The lazy boy is the subject, was punished is the predicate. And this word lazy is describing the noun boy. So it is an adjective. Now look at the second statement. The boy is lazy. Now here in this statement, the boy is the subject and is lazy is the predicate. Again, in this sentence too, lazy is describing the boy and telling us what kind of boy is he. In both these sentences, lazy is an adjective modifying boy. What's the difference? In the first statement, lazy is used alongside the noun. In the second, it is used alongside the verb is. In the first statement, it is used as an attribute or an epithet, When an adjective is used alongside a noun, we call it an attribute. We also call it an epithet. So adjective thus used is called adjective used attributively. In the second statement, adjective is part of the predicate. So we can say that this adjective lazy is used predicatively. No, some adjectives. No, she is afraid of ghosts. Look at this statement. She is the subject. Is afraid of ghosts is the predicate. Afraid is an adjective that modifies the pronoun she. But this adjective is used alongside the verb is. So this adjective is used predicatively. This adjective can never be used attributively. Similarly, I am quite well. I is the subject. Am quite well is the predicate. And you can see well is an adjective that modifies the pronoun I. But this well or quite well is used alongside the verb is. So we can say that this adjective is used predictively. Such adjectives. There are some adjectives that can be used predictively, but they can never be used attributively. Afraid cannot be used attributively. You cannot say an afraid girl or an afraid animal. Similarly, well is always used predicatively. It can never be used attributively. And now the kinds of adjectives. Now look at this statement. Kolkata is a large city. City is the word that denotes a place. So it is a noun. And this word large, what is its function here in the sentence? It is describing our noun. Look at the second statement. He is an honest man. Man, this word man denotes a person. So it's a noun. This word honest that has been used alongside this noun, honest. This honest describes our noun, man. Similarly, the foolish old crow tried to sing. Here, crow is a noun, and foolish, this word foolish and this word old, both these words are describing the crow. What kind of a crow? What kind of a man? What kind of city? Similarly, this is a grammar of the English language. Language is the noun. What is this word English doing here? This word English, this word English is describing the noun language. What kind of language? English language. So when a word, an adjective describes a noun, like large describing the city, honest is describing man, foolish is describing crow, old is describing the crow. Similarly, English is describing the language. When a word, when an adjective describes a noun, we say that it is a descriptive adjective. Descriptive adjectives tell the quality or the attribute of the noun. So we also call them adjectives of quality. Adjectives of quality answer the question what kind or what quality of a person or a thing. Now, adjectives are also formed from proper nouns. France is a proper noun. Turkey is a proper noun. India is a proper noun. And from these proper nouns, we can form French wines. French wine. The wine is a noun, and French is an adjective that is describing the noun. So obviously it is a adjective of quality or a descriptive adjective. but we also call it a proper adjective because this adjective is formed from a proper noun. Similarly, a Turkish tobacco. Tobacco is a noun, and Turkish is describing the noun tobacco. It is telling the quality of the tobacco. So obviously, it is a descriptive adjective or an adjective of quality, but at the same time, this adjective is formed from a proper noun, Turkey. We also call it a proper adjective. Similarly, Indian tea. Tea is a noun, and Indian is an adjective that is uh, describing the noun tea. It's telling the quality of the tea. So it's a descriptive adjective as well as an adjective of quality. But at the same time, since it is formed from a proper noun, India, we say it is a proper adjective. So proper adjectives are adjectives of quality and adjectives of and descriptive adjectives. That is why they are classed with descriptive adjectives. Now, adjectives which describe the noun are called descriptive adjectives. Now look at these words. The second, adjectives of quantity. I ate some rice. Rice is a noun. Rice is a noun. And this word some, obviously it is an adjective, but what is it doing here in this sentence? It is telling the quantity of rice. Since rice is an uncountable noun, some is telling the quantity of the noun. Look at the second statement. He showed much patience. Patience is a noun and it is an uncountable noun. Much is telling the quantity of patience. How much patience? Much patience. He has little intelligence. Intelligence is a noun and is an uncountable noun. It is an abstract noun. Little, this adjective is telling the quantity. How much intelligence? Little intelligence. We have had enough exercise. Exercise is a noun, an uncountable, abstract noun. Enough is telling the quantity of this noun. How much exercise? Enough exercise. Now, he has lost all his wealth. Wealth is a noun, an uncountable one. All is telling the quantity of this noun. You have no sense. Sense is a noun. It is an uncountable noun. No is telling the quantity of this noun. How much sense? The answer is no. He did not eat any rice. Rice is an uncountable noun. Any is telling the quantity of this noun. Similarly, take great care of your health. Care is a noun that cannot be counted. Great is telling the quantity of this noun. He claimed his half share of the booty. Share is an uncountable noun. Half is telling the quantity of this noun. There has not been sufficient rain this year. Rain is an uncountable noun. Sufficient is telling the quantity of this noun. The whole sum was expended. Sum is an uncountable noun. And this word, this adjective whole, is telling the quantity of this noun. When an adjective tells the quantity of the noun, it is an adjective of quantity. So some rice, some is an adjective of quantity. Much patience, much is an adjective of quantity. Little intelligence, little is an adjective of quantity. And similarly, enough, all, no, any, great, of, sufficient, and whole. All these adjectives are telling the quantity of the noun. So They're called adjectives of quantity. They answer the question how much of something. Adjectives of number, also called numeral adjectives, obviously tell the number of the nouns. For example, the hand has 5 fingers. Fingers is a noun and it is a countable noun. So this word, this adjective 5 is telling the number of this countable noun. Few cats like cold water. Cats is a countable noun and few is telling the number of this countable noun. There are no pictures in this book. Pictures is a countable noun and no is telling the number of this noun. I have taught you many things. Things is a countable noun and many is telling the number of this noun. All men must die. Men is a countable noun. All is telling the number of this noun. Here are some ripe mangoes. Mangoes or ripe mangoes is a countable noun. Some is telling the number of mangoes. Most boys like cricket. Boys is a countable noun and most is telling the number of boys. There are several mistakes in your exercise. Mistakes is a countable noun and several, this adjective is telling the number of mistakes. Sunday is the first day of the week. Day is a countable noun and first is telling the number on a sequence. Now, when a noun is qualified by an adjective and that adjective tells the number of that noun, we say it is an adjective of number or a numeral adjective. 5 is a numeral adjective, it is telling the number of fingers. Few is a numeral adjective telling the number of cats. No is a numeral adjective, it is telling the number of pictures. Many, numeral adjective telling the number of things. All, some, most, several. These are numeral adjectives, they tell the number of the nouns which follow. First, no, look at this word. The hand has 5 fingers. The 5 is telling the exact number of the fingers. Few cats. Few is not telling the exact number of the cats. Similarly, no pictures. No is not telling the exact number. Many, all, some, most. These numeral adjectives do not tell the exact number of the nouns that follow them. First is telling the exact order of the day in a week. Now, numeral adjectives answer the question how many. The numeral adjectives are of 3 types. One is definite numeral adjectives. Now, 5 fingers. 5 is a definite numeral adjective because it tells the exact number of the fingers. And Sunday is the first day of the week. First is a definite numeral adjective. It tells the exact order of the day in a week. So, 1, 2, 3, etc. One, two, three, and first, second, and third. These are definite numeral adjectives. They tell the exact number of the noun, or they tell the order of things in a series, exact order of the things in a series. 1, 2, 3 are called cardinals. First, second, and third are called ordinals. Now, again, refer to the previous examples. 5 mangoes. 5 is a cardinal. First day of the week. First Sunday is the first day of the week. First is an ordinal. Now, indefinite numeral adjectives: all, no, many, some, certain, several, sundry. These adjectives never tell the exact number of the noun. So they are indefinite numeral adjectives. Now look at this sentence. Each boy must take his turn. Boy is a noun, and morphologically it seems to be a singular number. But if you read the sentence, you will notice that it's not one boy, it's a group of boys. And each is being distributed to every boy in a group. When each is used with a boy, a sense of individuality comes out. So each is being distributed for every boy in the group. Similarly, India expects every man to do his duty. Man, although here in this sentence morphologically it is a singular number, but the sense that it communicates is that of a plural. If you read the sentence, you will come to know that it is not only one man, there is a group of men. And this word every, which is an adjective, it is referring to not one man, but each and every man in the group, every individual in the group. It is getting distributed. Similarly, every word of it is false. Word, although morphologically it appears to be a singular, it appears to be a singular number, but it's not one word that is being talked about. So every is modifying all the words. Similarly, either pen will do. Pen appears to be in singular number, but it is not one pen. Either refers to two pen. So either is getting distributed. Either side is on either side is a narrow lane. Side is a noun. It appears to be in singular number, but actually it's not one side. These are two sides that are being talked about. And either applies to both of them. Either is its meaning, its sense is being distributed to both of them. Neither accusation is true. Accusation, although it appears to be in singular number, but it is not one accusation. It is these are two accusations which are being talked about, and neither refers to both of them. Neither modifies both of the accusations. So when an adjective comes along a noun and it brings out the individuality of that noun and not the collective nature of the noun, we say that the adjective is used distributively, or this is a distributive numeral adjective. Each and every and either and neither, these are distributive numeral adjectives. Numeral adjectives are of three types. Definite numeral adjectives, they tell the exact number or the order of things. Indefinite numeral adjectives, they don't tell the exact number or the order of things. And distributive numeral adjectives, which refer to each one of a number of things or persons. Now, point number 73. Look at this statement: I ate some rice. Rice is an uncountable noun, and some is telling the quantity of this noun. So, Some is an adjective of quantity. Now read this statement. Some boys are clever. Boys is a countable noun, and some is telling the number of the boys. So in this statement, some is being used as an adjective of number. Same adjective. In one sentence, it is an adjective of quantity. In the other sentence, it is an adjective of number. So this is quite possible for an adjective to be used as an adjective of quantity and an adjective of number. It depends upon the context in which it is used. He has lost all his wealth. Wealth is an uncountable noun. So all is an adjective of quantity. Now all men must die. Men is a countable noun. All is an adjective. It is an adjective of number or a numeral adjective. You have no sense. No tells the quantity of sense, so it is an adjective of quantity. There are no pictures in this book. So in this statement, no is telling the number of pictures. It is a numeral adjective or adjective of number. He did not eat any rice. So any is telling the quantity of rice, adjective of quantity. Are there any mangoes? Are there any mango trees in this garden? So any is telling the number of mango trees. So it's an adjective of number. I have enough sugar. Sugar, enough is telling the quantity of sugar. No, there are not enough spoons. In this statement, enough is telling the number of the spoons. So it is possible for adjectives to be used quantitatively uh, as an adjective of numbers. Now look at these statement. That boy is industrious. That boy is industrious. Boy is a noun, and that is an adjective that is being used alongside this noun. That is an adjective. But what does it do? What is its function? What's its role? It actually it's pointing out. It's pointing out the noun. Which boy? That boy is industrious. Now look at the second statement. These mangoes are sour. Mangoes is a noun, and this word these is an adjective. It is pointing out which mangoes are sour. These. Those rascals must be punished. Those is pointing out. What rascals? Yonder fort once belonged to Shivaji. Which fort? The answer is yonder. It is pointing out the noun. Don't be in such hurry. What hurry? What kind of hurry? Such hurry. Such is pointing out a hurry. I hate such things. Such is pointing out the noun things. It answered the question which. Which mangoes are sour? These. Which rascals must be punished? Those. Which fort once belonged to Shivji? Yonder. Which hurry? Such. Which things? I hate such. So when an adjective points out the noun, we say that that is a demonstrative adjective. So that, these, those, yonder, and such are demonstrative adjectives in these statements. What manner, now look at this statement. What manner of a man is he? What manner of a man is he? Manner is a noun. What is being used alongside this noun? Obviously, it is an adjective, but what is its function here? It doesn't describe the noun. It doesn't tell the quantity or the number of the noun. It doesn't point out the noun. What does it do? This adjective is used alongside a noun to ask a question. And this is its function here in this sentence. Similarly, which way shall we go? Which way shall we go? Way is a noun. Which is being used alongside this noun. So it is an adjective. What is its function? It's being used to ask a question. It makes the sentence interrogative. Now, whose book is this? Book is a noun. And whose is an adjective used alongside this noun. And it is used to ask a question. It makes the sentence interrogative. So when an adjective is used to ask a question, or when the use of an adjective converts the sentence into an interrogative sentence, that adjective is called an interrogative adjective. So in these statements, what, which, and whose are interrogative adjectives. And now the exercise in grammar 6. Pick out all the adjectives in the following sentences and say to which class each of them belongs. The ship sustained heavy damage. Damage is a noun while heavy is an adjective. How much damage? Heavy damage. So heavy is an adjective of quantity. I have called I have called several times. Times is a noun. I have called several times. Times is a noun. Several is an adjective. It is an indefinite numeral adjective. It tells the number of the noun, but it doesn't tell the exact number of the noun. So it is an indefinite numeral adjective. Every dog has his day. Dog is an adjective, and every. Dog is not one adjective. A dog is a noun, and it indicates that it is not one dog. These are many dogs. So every is referring to all the dogs in a group. So it is a distributive adjective. A live ass is better than a dead lion. Ass is a noun. Live is an adjective which is describing ass. Ass means donkey. So it is a descriptive adjective, also an adjective of quality. Similarly, dead lion, lion is a noun. Dead is describing the lion. So it is a descriptive adjective. You can also call it an adjective of quality. Every man has his duty. Man is an adjective. Man is a noun. And every is a distributive numeral adjective because it is referring to all the men in the group. Say the same thing twice over. Thing is a noun. And same is pointing out which thing. Same thing. So same is a dist, uh, demonstrative adjective. Several persons were present at the time. Person is a noun. And several is telling the number of the noun, but it doesn't tell the exact number. So that is the reason it is an indefinite numeral adjective. He is a man of few words. Words is a noun, and few is telling the number of words, but it doesn't tell the exact number. So few is an indefinite numeral adjective. Neither party is quite in the right. Party is a noun, and it is not one party. Look at the sense of the sentence. It's two parties. Neither party. So neither refers to both of them. So it is a distributive numeral adjective. What time is it? Time is a noun. And what is an adjective? That is used to ask a question. So what is an interrogative adjective? Which pen do you prefer? Pen is a noun. And which is an adjective used alongside pen? It's used to ask a question. So it is an interrogative adjective. The way was long, the wind was cold, the minstrel was infirm and old. Way is a noun, and long is telling the quality of the way. So long is an adjective of quality, or it is a descriptive adjective. Wind was cold, cold is an adjective of quality or a descriptive adjective describing wind. Minstrel was infirm and old. Infirm and old, both these adjectives are describing minstrel. They're telling the quality of the minstrel, which is a noun. So infirm and old both are adjectives of quality. They are numeral adjectives. He comes here every day. Day is a noun. So every is a distributive numeral adjective. It refers to all the days. I've not seen him for several days. Several days is a noun, and several is an indefinite numeral adjective. Several is an indefinite numeral adjective. There should not be much talk and little work. How much talk? Much talk. So much is an adjective of quantity. Little work. How much work? Little work. Little is telling the quantity of work. So little is also an adjective of quantity. Abdul won the second prize. Prize is a noun, and second is telling us which prize? Second prize. It is an ordinal. It tells the exact order of the series. So second is a definite numeral adjective and is an ordinal. The child fell down from great height. Great height. How much height? Great height. Adjective of quantity. He was absent last week. Last week. This is a definite numeral adjective and is an ordinal. It is telling the order of the week. He died a glorious death. Glorious is describing death. So it is an adjective of quality or descriptive adjective. A small leak. Small is an adjective of quantity. May sink a great ship. It is an adjective of quality or a descriptive adjective. Small is an adjective of quantity, and great is an adjective of quality. Good wine needs no bush. It means excellence speaks for itself. Good product will sell itself. It will not need marketing. Good wine needs no bush. So, good is an adjective that is describing wine. It is telling the quality of wine. So, it is an adjective of quality, a descriptive adjective. I like the little peddler. Little peddler. Little is an adjective of quality. Who has a crooked nose? Crooked is telling the quality or describing the nose. So it is an adjective of quality or descriptive adjective. King Francis was a haughty king. Haughty is adjective of quality. And loved a royal sport. Royal is again an adjective of quality describing the noun sport. In the furrowed land, land is a noun and furrowed is an adjective of quality. It is describing land. So it is an adjective of quality, an adjective of, oh no, descriptive adjective. The toilsome and patient oxen stand. Toilsome is an adjective of quality. Patient is also an adjective of quality, and both these adjectives are modifying oxen. My uncle lives in the next house. Next is a definite numeral adjective and it is an ordinal. Some dreams are like reality. Which dreams? Some dreams. It is a demonstrative adjective because it is pointing out the noun. A cross child is not light. Cross child. Cross is a descriptive adjective, adjective of quality. It is an ill wind that blows nobody any good. It is a proverb that means every cloud has a silver lining. Even a disaster can be used to your advantage. The most difficult and the toughest of situation can be used for some advantage. An advantage can be obtained from the most difficult or drastic situation or tough situation. It is an ill wind that blows nobody any good. When you want to ask somebody, stay optimistic, though do not lose hope, then you say this proverb. It is an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Ill wind. Ill is an adjective that is describing wind. It is a descriptive adjective. Any good. Good is a noun. Any good. Indefinite numeral adjective. Now, point number 76. I saw it with my own eyes. Eyes is a noun. And this word own is used alongside this noun. So it's the adjective. But what is its function? Does it describe eyes? No. Does it tell the number or the quality or the quantity of eyes? No. Not at all. So what's its function here? It simply emphasizes. It performs the function of emphasizing. In this statement, on is emphasizing eyes. Similarly, he was beaten at his own game. On is emphasizing game. So on, this adjective on is doing the work of emphasizing. Mind your own business. On is emphasizing business. He is his own master. On is emphasizing master. That is the only function that this adjective performs in this sentence. That is the very thing we want. Very is not telling the quantity or the number or the quality of the noun thing. It emphasizes thing. When all else left my cause, my very adversary, very is an adjective, adversary is a noun. That means enemy. Very does not tell the quantity or the number or the quality of adversary. It simply emphasizes the noun. When an adjective emphasizes the noun that follows, it is called an emphasizing adjective. So, in all these examples, on and very are emphasizing adjectives. Now, look at these statements. What genius? Genius is a noun. And what is an adjective? But what is its function here in this statement? It does not tell the quantity or the quality or the number of the noun genius. And what genius is not a question either. It's not being used to ask a question. So, what's its function? What is making this whole statement an exclamation? What genius is an exclamatory phrase. It is not question. So when an adjective is used for the purpose of exclamation, we say it is an exclamatory adjective. What folly? Folly is a noun. Folly is a noun. And what? It's an adjective. What is its function? It makes this whole statement an exclamation. So it is an exclamatory adjective. What an idea. What is an exclamatory adjective? What a blessing. So it's not a question, it's an exclamation. So what is being used for an exclamation? What a piece of work is man. So what in this statement too is being used as an exclamation of surprise. All these examples are examples of exclamatory adjectives. Now, look at point number 78. This girl sings. Girl is a noun and it is in singular number. This is an adjective. It is a demonstrative adjective. Now, these girls sing. Girls is a noun and plural number. And these is an adjective, which is pointing out the girls. You see, this demonstrative adjective, when it is used with singular noun, it is this. But when it is used with a plural noun, noun and plural number, it changes to these. That boy plays. Boy is in singular number, and that is pointing out it is a demonstrative adjective. Those boys play. Boys is a noun in plural number, so that has changed into those. It's a demonstrative adjective. This and these indicate something near to the speaker. That and those indicate more distant objects. Now, how adjectives are formed? There are many different ways in which adjectives can be formed. Point number 79. Adjectives are formed, many adjectives are formed from nouns. Nouns can give us adjectives. Boy, boyish. Fool, foolish. Care, careful. Play, playful. Hope, hopeful. Venture, venturesome. Trouble, troublesome. Shame, shameless. Sense, senseless. Silk, silken. Gold, golden. And similarly, dirt, dirty. Storm, stormy. Pardon, pardonable. Laugh, laughable. Outrage, outrageous. Courage, courageous. Glory, glorious. Envy, envious. Man, manly. King, kingly. Gift, gifted. These adjectives are formed from nouns. Some adjectives are formed from verbs. Look, tire is a verb, and we have tireless adjective. Talk, talkative. Cease, ceaseless. Move, movable. Adjectives can also be formed from other adjectives, like tragic is an adjective. From tragic, we can form another adjective, tragical. Whole, wholesome. Three is a definite numeral adjective. And from three, we can form an adjective, threefold. Black, blackish. White, whitish. Sick, sickly. Now, exercise in grammar in composition 7. Supply suitable adjectives. The town stood a dash siege, and we are supposed to provide an adjective for this noun siege. So many adjectives are possible. For example, brutal siege, prolonged siege, relentless, fierce. successful, unsuccessful siege, bloody, grueling, desperate, strategic siege. Many adjectives are possible. Similarly, the prize was won by a Hindu. The coveted prize, prestigious prize, lucrative prize, highly contested, hard won, generous prize. The woman lives in a wretched hut, and we are supposed to provide an adjective for woman. Many are possible. The impoverished woman, the disadvantaged woman, the miserable woman, frail woman, aged, lonely, forgotten. The resilient woman lives in a wretched hut. This is a very dash matter, a serious matter, a sensitive matter, a complex matter, a complicated matter, a multifaceted matter, important matter, crucial, urgent, high stakes matter. So many adjectives are possible. The Battle of Waterloo ended in a dash victory, a decisive victory, an overwhelming victory, a crushing, historic, strategic, complete, resounding victory. Suddenly there arose a storm. Suddenly there arose a storm, a violent storm, a fierce storm, a brutal, sudden, unexpected, abrupt, powerful storm, furious, thunderous storm. It is a dash lie. It is a bald faced lie. It is a blatant lie, a gross lie, a deceptive lie, colossal, monstrous lie. It is an outrageous lie, deliberate, malicious. It's a shameless lie. The dash tidings were a heavy blow to the old man. Tidings, sorrowful tidings, ominous tidings, melancholy tidings, grievous, disastrous tidings, unwelcome tidings, distressing, shocking, heartbreaking tidings were a heavy blow to the old man. Here is rupees 50. Pay the fare and keep the dash money, remaining money, the leftover money. His reading is of a very dash range, wide range, broad range, extensive, varied, diverse range. Many adjectives are possible. The injured man wants dash advice, a medical advice, a professional advice, a specialized, a sound, a practical advice. You cannot have it dash ways. So this is a proverb. You cannot have it both ways. India expects dash man to do his duty. India expects every man to do his duty. This statement has been taken from a speech that was delivered by Mahatma Gandhi. The dashbird catches the worm. The early bird catches the worm. It's a proverb. When you want to encourage somebody to be punctual and to reach somewhere on time or in time, you say this. The early bird catches the worm. Have you any dash reason to give? A valid reason, a good reason, a solid reason, a convincing, a legitimate reason. Dash anxiety has undermined his health. Chronic anxiety, persistent anxiety, constant, severe anxiety. But I think chronic is a fitting adjective. in this context. There were riots in dash places. There were riots in several places, many places, various places, different places. But I think several is a fitting adjective in this context. An dash man will not reason calmly. An angry man will not reason calmly. He stands dash feet in his stockings. He stands 6 feet in his stockings. It means that in his barefoot, he is 6 feet tall. And this statement is used. This you say if somebody stands 6 feet or 5 feet in stockings when you want to describe their height. Nelson won for himself dash fame, immortal fame. I have no cash. I have no dash cash. I have no liquid cash. I have no ready cash. I have no available cash, disposable cash. I have no spare cash. He always walks with a dash step. He always walks with a brisk step, with a steady step, with a surprise step. But I think brisk is a fitting adjective in this context. Dash errors are not easily corrected. Fundamental errors are not easily corrected. Basic, serious, deep seated errors are not easily corrected. But I think fundamental will be a fitting adjective in this context. Every cloud has a silver lining. It's a proverb that means stay optimistic. Even a disaster can be used for an advantage. So do not lose hope. Every cloud has a silver lining. He was a man of dash ambition. He was a man of great ambition, high, lofty, boundless ambition. But I think great will be a fitting adjective in this context. He was listened to in dead silence. He was listened to in rapt, R-A-P-T, rapt silence, a stunned silence, complete silence, pin drop silence. Rapt silence will be a fitting adjective in this context. And now exercise in composition 8. Form adjectives from the following nouns. First, nouns have been given and we are supposed to form adjectives. We have already learned that adjectives can be formed from nouns. So after we have formed adjectives from these nouns, we will have to attach a noun with those adjectives. Look, form adjectives from the following nouns and attach each of them to a suitable noun. Ease, pity, time, and all these nouns have been given. And we are supposed to form adjectives and then attach those adjectives with nouns. Look, ease, easy, easy task. Pity, pitiable, a pitiable condition. Time, timely, a timely intervention. Heaven is a noun, and from this noun we have formed an adjective, heavenly, and then we have attached heavenly with music, heavenly music. Health, healthy, healthy diet. Wealth, wealthy, a wealthy businessman. Love, loving, loving mother. Hill, hilly, a hilly train. Need is a noun. Needy is an adjective. And we have attached needy with families. Needy families. Green, greenish, greenish tint. Room, roomy, roomy apartment. Cost, costly, costly mistake. From cost, we have formed adjective costly. And now we have attached costly with the noun mistake. Costly mistake. painful, painful memories, doubtful, doubtful expression, wonderful, wonderful surprise, peaceful, a peaceful atmosphere, childish behavior, prince, princely, a princely sum, that is a generous sum, mountainous region, ridicule, a ridiculous joke, picture, picturesque, a picturesque village, labor, laborious task, wooden floor, pomp, pompous, pompous language, artistic. Artist is a noun. From this noun we have formed adjective artistic, and now artistic talents. Progress, progressive, progressive policies. Slave is a noun, and slavish is an adjective that we have formed from it. Slavish devotion, contempt, contemptuous tone, tempest, tempestuous, tempestuous relationship, sensible decision, quarrel, quarrelsome couple, thought, thoughtful, thoughtful gift, hope, hopeful, hopeful future. Friend is a noun, and from it we have formed adjective friendly, a friendly star. And now we have exercise in composition 9. Use these adjectives in sentence. We have been given adjectives happy, sad, industrious, lazy, big, small, soft, till, dutiful, distant, and certain. We are supposed to form their adjectives. For we use these adjectives in sentences of our own. Now look. Here are the adjectives used in simple. I have used some simple sentences. I have used these adjectives in simple sentences, and for your understanding and for knowledge, I have also used these adjectives in complex sentences. Happy, the child was happy. It's a simple sentence, and happy is used as an adjective. She felt sad. Industrious, he was an industrious worker. Lazy, the lazy cat slept all day. Big, the big house was impressive. Small, the small dog was cute. Soft, the soft pillow was comfortable. Harsh, the harsh weather was unbearable. Hard, the hard wood was difficult to cut. Polite, the polite waiter was helpful. You see, all these sentences are simple sentences. Rude, the rude customer was annoying. Wise, the wise old man gave good advice. Foolish, the foolish decision led to trouble. Rich, the rich businessman donated to charity. Poor, the poor family struggled to make ends meet. Young, the young girl was energetic. New, the new phone was exciting. Old, the old car broke down. Long, the long journey was tiring. Short, the short story was interesting. Quick, the quick runner won the race. Slow, the slow internet was frustrating. Strong, strong athlete lifted heavy weights. Weak, the weak patient needed rest. Handsome, the handsome actor was popular. Ugly, the ugly painting was unattractive. Clever, the clever student solved the puzzle. Dull, the dull lecture was boring. Kind, the kind teacher helped her students. Cruel, the cruel dictator was feared. Healthy, the healthy food was nutritious. Dutiful, the dutiful employee worked hard. Distant, the distant mountain was visible. Certain, The certain outcome was predictable. Now, I have used all these adjectives in complex sentences as well. And now I'm going to read all these complex sentences. Happy. Although she was happy with her new job, she missed her old colleagues. Same adjectives now used in complex sentences. The sad news of the natural disaster made her feel helpless. Industries. Thanks to his industrious nature, he was able to complete the project on time. Lazy. Because of his lazy attitude, he struggled to find a job. Big. The big house he had a garden, which was perfect for the family. The big house had a large garden, which was perfect for the family. Small. Despite being small, the car was fuel efficient and easy to park. Soft. The soft music playing in the background helped her relax. Harsh. The harsh criticism from her boss made her feel demotivated. Hard. The hard work he put into his studies paid off when he got good grades. Polite. The polite customer service representative helped her resolve the issue. Rude. The rude behavior of the stranger made her feel uncomfortable. Wise. The wise words of advice from a mentor helped her make a difficult decision. Foolish. The foolish mistake he made cost him his job. Rich. Although he was rich, he lived a simple life. Poor. The poor living conditions in the slum were a concern for the government. Young. The young and ambitious entrepreneur started a successful business. New. The new employee was eager to learn and prove himself. Old. The old and experienced teacher was respected by her students. Long. The long and winding road led to a beautiful scenic spot. Short. The short and sweet speech was well received by the audience. Quick. The quick thinking of the firefighter saved the family from the burning building. Slow. The slow and painful recovery from the illness was frustrating. Strong. The strong and determined athlete won the championship. Weak. The weak and fragile vase broke easily. Handsome. The handsome actor's charming smile won over the audience. Ugly. The ugly and dilapidated building was scheduled for demolition. Clever. The clever and resourceful student found a creative solution to the problem. Dull. The dull and untrusting lecture put the students to sleep. Kind. The kind and compassionate nurse took care of the patients with empathy. Cruel. The cruel and heartless dictator was responsible for the suffering of his people. Healthy. Eating a healthy and balanced diet helped her maintain her weight. Dutiful. The dutiful and responsible employee completed his tasks on time. Distant. The distant and isolated location of the village made it difficult to access. Certain. The certain and undeniable evidence proved his innocence. And now the exercise in composition 10. Use a suitable adjective with the following nouns. We have been given nouns and we are supposed to provide suitable adjectives. Although we are required to provide a suitable adjective, but I have also used this collocation in sentences. You can see storm, siege, sleep, victory, advice, blow, silence, hands, water. All these nouns have been used with an adjective in a sentence. The fierce storm damaged several buildings. The brutal siege lasted for months. After a restful sleep, I felt refreshed. The decisive victory marked the end of the war. Her wise advice helped me make a difficult decision. The crushing blow left him reeling. The eerie silence in the abandoned house was unsettled. With her skilled hands, she crafted beautiful pottery. The crystal clear water made the beach perfect for swimming. The loyal servant had worked for the family for decades. The delicate flower required careful handling. The bustling city was overwhelming for the small town visitor. The talented artist's paintings were highly sought after. Be cautious of the shady dealer and his questionable business practices. Her soothing voice calmed the nervous child. My loving husband always knows how to make me feel better. The complex subject required careful study and analysis. The innocent child's smile lit up the room. The powerful king ruled with an iron fist. The loyal dog stood by its owner's side through thick and thin. And now exercise in composition aloud. Use as many adjectives as you can with the following nouns. Fortune, man, news, these are all nouns, and we are supposed to provide numerous adjectives, as many as are possible for us. Fortune, vast fortune, immense fortune, inherited, unexpected, good, bad fortune. Man, a tall man, a handsome man, wise, old, kind, generous, strong, a gentleman. News, shocking news, surprising news, exciting, disturbing, good, bad, breaking news, latest news. Storm, fierce storm, intense storm, violent storm, powerful, raging, torrential, thunderous, a devastating storm. Health, good health, bad health, poor health, excellent health, fragile, delicate, mental, physical health. Novel, best selling novel, award winning novel, thought provoking novel, engaging, captivating, romantic, historical, a sci fi novel. Progress, steady progress, slow progress, rapid, significant, remarkable, encouraging, disappointing, a frustrating progress. Room, a spacious room, a cozy, a comfortable room, luxurious, elegant, simple, cluttered, messy room. Incident, unfortunate incident, regrettable incident, shocking, disturbing, serious, minor, isolated, recurring incident. Exercise in composition 12. Write down the adjectives opposite in meaning to the following. These are the adjectives: courageous, many, wild, hot, lean, heavy, costly, barren, beautiful. And we are supposed to provide adjectives that are antonymous to these adjectives, opposite in meaning. Here are the adjectives opposite in meaning. Courageous, its antonym is cowardly, and both of these are adjectives. Many is an adjective, its opposite is few, it's also an adjective. Wild, its antonym is tame. Hot, cold, both of them are adjectives. Lean, fat, heavy, light, costly, inexpensive, both of these are adjectives and they are antonymous to each other. Barren, fertile, beautiful, ugly, patient, impatient, honest, dishonest, civilized, uncivilized, careful, callous, strong, weak, experienced, inexperienced, slow, fast, friendly, unfriendly, cruel, kind, soft, hard. Both of them are adjectives and they are opposite in meaning. Now, that some antonyms may have varying degrees of opposition, and some words may have multiple antonyms depending on the context. So, this was the end of the lecture. Thank you very much for watching this video. Allah Hafiz.